Good evening, everyone. This is Robert from RJL 518, welcoming you to another exciting edition of Payoff Pitch 1985. Today's date is June 15th, and we are at Memorial Stadium. Tonight's game is the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Baltimore Orioles. The Brewers come into this game at 31-25, overachieving a little bit. The Orioles are a little bit underachieving. They're 28-29. The last time we saw the Baltimore Orioles was a game against the Boston Red Sox, and I firmly ask you guys to check that game out, and you'll understand why. Hopefully today the Orioles have a much better outcome, at least for that, for the way that game went. And by the way, Len Sakata is not in the starting lineup for the Orioles, and if you wonder why I say that, again, check out the game, the replay of the game between the Red Sox and the Orioles. We are here at Memorial Stadium, and we're moving through this third month of our Payoff Pitch 85 replay. Starting pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles in this game was Ken Dixon. He was 8-4 with a 3.67 ERA. Not a bad record for 18 starts. He also was a relief pitcher as well. And we'll see what the Orioles have for today in this game against the Brew Crew. So let's settle in. Let's get to some baseball. Leading off for the Milwaukee Brewers, third baseman Paul Molitor. Dixon is a right-hander. Molitor batted .285 against rights in 85. Here we go. Let's play some game at the night. It starts off with a tough 35, and that is a base hit for Paul Molitor. Gets a single to lead off the game. Molitor will trot down to first, and that will bring up the shortstop, Ernie Riles. Riles batted .306 with 5 homers against rights. Molitor a 4B, steal rating, 6 on the dice, will not run. Dixon pitches to Riles. Riles batted .306 with 5 homers against rights. Dixon a tough 86. That is a ground ball to second base. Riles' double play rating is an 8. Dixon's a 5. That is a 7. And since there's a 7 on the dice, the play is going to go to first. Molitor will make second as his run rating, as I'm using a rule that if it's a fielder's choice and the runner's run rating is equal to or less than the dice, he does take second base. So that is out number 1 on a ground out to second. Molitor makes it to second base, and the batter now is first baseman Cecil Cooper, batted .280 with 10 homers against rights. Dixon with the pitch. That's a patient 36, and it will be a single for Cecil Cooper. Base hit. Sharp liner into center field. Molitor will come around, and he will score. And the Brewers get on top early. Cooper an RBI single. One to nothing Brewers already for the Brew Crew. Next batter is going to be left fielder Robin Yount, batted .266 with 11 homers against rights. Cooper on at first base. He's got a 3 steal rating. That's a 3 on the dice. And let's see if Cooper's he's got a B as a steal rating. Let's see if he as a stealing chance. Let's see if he gets the jump. Ken Dixon has a hold rating. 7 or lower, Cooper will go. 8 or higher, Cooper stays, but Dixon gets to pick him off. That's a 7. There goes Cooper. Cooper on his way to second base. The catcher for the Orioles is Dempsey, and he has an arm rating of a 3. So it is a very good chance for Cooper to steal. The throw to second, very good. He is safe. Play was really not even close. Stolen base for Cecil Cooper. And now Robin Yount will bat with a runner on second. 1 out here, still top of the first. Brewers leading 1-0. Ken Dixon will pitch to Yount. And that's a defense check, 86. It's an error check to third base. The ball is hit to Connolly. His error rating is a 5. With an 86, that's going to be an out. And it's going to be a line out to third base as it's hit to Connolly, and he snares it for out number 2. Cooper has to get back. Yount hit it hard, but Connolly made the play. Here's the Brewers' designated hitter, Ted Simmons. He batted .257 against rights in '85. Bleacher Bums Gaming joins me here at Memorial Stadium. First to the turnstiles, which means, Anthony, you are in charge of making sure everyone gets the food and the drink. Cooper on its second, the pitch to Simmons. And that is a ballpark 38. Memorial Stadium is a definite hitter's park. That is going to be in Simmons's wheelhouse. Wheelhouse 60 will be a single for Ted Simmons. Cecil Cooper's run rating is a 6. He will score from second. And just like that, the Brewers now lead 2-0 on an RBI base hit by Simmons. 2-0 Barucru. As Anthony says, he's keeping the beer for himself. Oh, come on now, you got to share. Got to share. Sharing is caring. Here is the right fielder, Ben Ogilvy, batted .312 with 8 homers against rights in '85. Simmons on at first base. Pitch from Dixon. That's a patient 71. That is a single as well for Ogilvy. The Brewers are getting to Dixon early. Simmons with a run rating of 5 means I have to draw. It's a ball blooped into right field. Simmons will hold at second. Milwaukee getting to the O's early on. Next batter is the catcher, Bill Schroeder, batted .221 against right-handers in '85. The Orioles originally won this game 7-5 on this date. And by the way, this date of June 15 is my daughter's birthday. Today is that's the day my daughter was born, but that would be 1997. Dixon will pitch to Schroeder. That is a tough 70, and we've got a ground out to second. Throw goes to first, and that will finally end the top half of this inning. 2 runs for the Brewers on 4 hits. Brewers jump out in front early as we will go to the bottom of the first. Pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers tonight, Teddy Higuera. He was their ace in '85, 15-8 with a 3.90 ERA. Happy birthday, my daughter. The date of this game is my daughter's birthday. Today is not my daughter's birthday. I guess I didn't say it right. My bad. June 15th is the day this game is being playing on. June 15th, 1985. Today's date, of course, is December 8th. But my daughter was born on June 15th. So this would be my daughter's birthday. It's okay, Anthony. It's okay. I didn't say it right. I don't blame you. I didn't say it right. Higuera will pitch to Lee Lacy, leading off for the O's. He was in right field for this game. Higuera, of course, is a lefty. Lacy batted .313 against lefts. Pitch from Higuera. That is a patient 24, and it's a walk. Lacy trots down to first on a leadoff walk. Higuera had 2.7 walks per 9. That's the first walk he gives up in this game. Here is second baseman Rich Dower. Dower batted .247 against lefties in '85. Getting early for next year. That's okay. I'll accept it. .3B steal rating for Lacy, but it was a 4 on the dice, so Lacy will not run. Here is the pitch to Dower. And that is an in-play 85. It's a ground ball to short. Dower's double play rating is a 9. Higuera's is a 6. That is a 9. The throw will go to second to get Lacy. His run rating is a 5. They do not get the double play. Dower gets to first, and there's 1 out. I've changed a couple of house rules in this for payoff pitch. Anthony made a couple of house rules. And one of the house rules is if on a ground out and the dice does not make a double play, whoever the runner on first is, if his run rating is equal to or less than the original dice roll, he makes it to second automatically. In the real rule is only on 11 or a 12, the runner gets to second. It rarely happens, and it actually happens more in games than we know. Kind of gives the runner a better base running chance. Here's Fred Lynn, center fielder for the Orioles today, batted .242 with 4 home runs. I made a few house rules that I kind of think add a little more flavor to the game, at least for payoff pitch. Here's the pitch from Higuera, and that is a ballpark 84. That will be in play. In play 91 is again a ground ball to second base. Lynn's double play rating's a 6. That's a 6. That is a 10. It's higher than Dower's 6. So the throw again goes to second base, but they cannot get Lynn. That is out number 2. Another fielder's choice. And the batter is Eddie Murray. No, that's not true. The rule is only on 11 or a 12, the runner on first is supposed to go to second. Only on an 11 or a 12. All right, on the original dice roll. Or, of course, you could re-roll and decide. But, I like using the original dice roll. Remember, I try not to re-roll these dice. Once these are rolled, the cards take care of the rest of the play. Here is first baseman Eddie Murray, batted .286 against lefties. Pitch from Higuera, and that's a patient 48. It will be a walk. He walks Eddie Murray. Trots down to first. That's already the second walk issued by Higuera. He's got 3 patients on his card. And now the shortstop, Cal Ripken. He batted .272 against left-handed pitching in 85. Pitch to Ripken. That's an in-play 66. And we got a fly ball to right field. That'll end the inning. Couple of walks, but that's all the Orioles get. At the end of one, it is 2-0 Brew Crew. I always get a lot of people that ask me about the differences in rules, ratings, between inside pitch and payoff pitch, because right now those are the 2 games I really enjoy playing. I did try a couple of APA games. I'll get back to APA a little later, so I'm probably going to do a video I'm going to do a baseball game utilizing both inside and payoff pitch at the same time. And we're going to take a look at the differences between ratings, differences between play. We're going to look at everything here. A lot of people keep on asking me, so I'm just going to make a video. I don't know if I'm going to stream it, but I might just make it in post. So I love both games equally. I love payoff pitch for its quickness and its fluidness. I love inside pitch because of the depth and the defensive and the strategies. I will not put either game down. I love them both. Top of the second inning, Jim Gantner leads off against Ken Dixon. He is at second base. Gantner batted .220 against righties. What do I think about the mechanics of the baseball game you are working on? I'll be honest with you, I was looking at it, and it looks like Glory Days boxing baseball style. And it looks like it works. It looks like it works, Anthony. Pitch from Dixon. And that is a patient 26. And that is going to be a single for Gantner. Gantner gets the first. Trots on down to first base. Gantner has a 3+ steal rating, but he's got a D as a steal chance. I'm not going to have him steal. And the next batter here will be Rick Manning gets the call at center field for the Brewers. Gantner does not have a good steal rating, but however, since he's got a 3+ and he stole 11 bases, but because I don't want to do the steal, I will do a hit and run. So we'll do a hit and run for Rick Manning and Jim Gantner. I don't do that often, but why not? And I guess I better get the hit and run chart ready to go. So here we go. Ken Dixon. Manning, hit and run. That is a 7. That is a tough 21. And it's going to be a single for Rick Manning. He belts it. A tough pitch. And he gets a base hit. That is an automatic 2-bagger for Jim Gantner as he will go to third, Manning to first. So the hit and run works beautifully. Don't even have to draw the card. It's an automatic extra base. So Gantner goes to third. Runners at the corners with nobody out. And here is Paul Molitor. And Dixon already in another jam here in the top of the second. Molitor is 1 for 1. He singled his last time up. Infield is going to be back. The Orioles are going to play for 2. Pitch from Dixon. Tough. 77. That is a ground ball to second base. Molitor's double play rating's an 8. Dixon's a 5. That is a 7. They will not get the double play. Manning, however, his run rating's a 7. Since that is a 7, Manning will make it to second. Molitor will be thrown out at first. Gantner does score. It's 3-0. Michael Peterson joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Manning on its second, 1 out. That's an RBI still for Molitor as he brings in Gantner, and the batter is Riles. Pitch from Dixon. That's an 11. That's a patient 0-2, and that's a walk. Another walk issued by Dixon. Actually, it's not another walk. It's his first one. First walk issued by Dixon to Riles. He trots down to first. And now Cecil Cooper. Good to have Michael Peterson and the Anthony at Bleacher Bums Gaming. Always check out Bleacher Bums Gaming channel. He is the inventor of Glory Days Boxing, which is used by many a great channel. Al Red Sox fan, Steeler fan 1933. Is inventing Glory, also doing Glory Days Baseball. SDGR Replays joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Runners at first and second here, top of the second. Brewers already up 3-0. Dixon pitching to Cooper. That's a patient 48, and it will be a pop out to the catcher. That's out number 2. Cooper pops it out. Now the batter is Yount, Hall of Famer. Pitch on the way. And that is an 8. That's a patient 31. That, however, is a wild pitch by Ken Dixon. 31 on the dice, and it goes a wild pitch. So that means Manning will go to third. Riles will go to second. Now we use the original roll, patient 31, and it was a walk anyway. So a wild pitch and then a walk. And the bases are juiced for Ted Simmons. Mr. Gaming, Mr. Yankees last night. Well, Don't forget to see the Yankees today. I remember, Michael, I just did a Yankee game earlier today, an inside pitch, the Mariners and the Yankees for my one and gone. So you might, for 85 one and gone, you might want to catch it. It's on my channel. 2 outs, bases loaded. Ted Simmons here. Already the Brewers have a run in. Here's the pitch from Dixon. That is an in-play, 67, and it's a fly out to right, and the inning will end. So we got 1 run for the Brewers on 2 hits and a couple of walks. Bottom of the second coming up already, 3-0 for the Brew Crew. Here is Teddy Higuera. He will pitch for the Brewers, and leading off for the Orioles is Gary Renicky. He is in left field for this game today. Pitch from Higuera. That's an in-play 04. It's a double. Gary Renicky smacks one into center field. It will bounce off the wall. The Orioles get a leadoff double. Next batter up is a seldomly used player, but he was in the starting lineup for this game. Third baseman Fritzy Connolly. He batted .279 against lefties, so I guess it's a reason why he was up in this inning, in this game, I should say, for the O's. Renicky on at second. Have I dropped the lower teams? In what? In what? Payoff pitch? Not yet. That starts soon, though. Landstrat Baseball joins us here at Memorial Stadium as he's watching his O's. Pitch from Higuera. That's a ballpark. 36. That's wheelhouse. Wheelhouse for Connolly. 97. Way got under that one. That is a fly ball to left, and it's out number 1. Boy, he got under that big time. Higuera got away with it. 1 man down. Renicky with a run rating of 6. That is a 10. He will stay at second base. Here's Mike Young. Young is the Orioles DH for today. 1 out. Renicky on its second. Pitch from Higuera. That's a ballpark again. 64. That's wheelhouse for Young. Wheelhouse 47. That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep. And that ball is hit gone. Home run, Mike Young. He did have 12 homers against lefties in 85, and we're going to say that's one of them. And the Orioles make it 3-2. Three to two game. Here is the catcher, Rick Dempsey. Still 1 out here in the bottom of inning number 2. Here is the pitch. And that is a tough 27. Struck him out. Dempsey goes back to the dugout. And that is strikeout number 1 for Higuera. He averaged 5.4 per 9. Here is Lacey. Lacey walked his last time up. Bears Den 007 joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Pitch from Higuera. Ballpark again, 13. That is in the wheelhouse for Lacey. Wheelhouse 79 is a single against lefties. Lacey gets to first. Second time he's been on base today. He will not steal with a 10 on the dice. Here is Rich Dower. Higuera with the pitch. And that is an in-play, 63. And it's a ground out to second base. That will end the inning. A 2-run homer by Mike Young. 2 runs. 3 hits for the Orioles. At the end of 2, we got a ball game. It is 3-2. As I said, I may do a video or a stream of doing one baseball game, playing inside pitch and payoff pitch at the same time. It'll be an exhibition game, something like that, and we can all take a look at the differences between both games, because everybody asks me, what's the difference between the two? Which game is more accurate? Which is this? Now remember, Dave at Baseball Demos did a Stratomatic versus inside pitch. I'll do a payoff pitch versus inside pitch. I love them both equally. Don't get me wrong. I love playing both games. Ben Ogilvy will bat against Ken Dixon here to start the top of the 3rd. Dixon's pitch. Tough. 12. And that is a strikeout. Ogilvy goes down. Here's Bill Schroeder. Schroeder grounded out his last time up. Pitch from Dixon. That's a tough 87. It's a ground out to short. Throw goes to first for out number 2. Nice play made by Iron Boy, Cal Ripken. And I'll say Iron Boy because Ripken was only 24 years old in 85. Here is Jim Gantner. Gantner singled his last time up. Dixon with the pitch. Tough 43. And it's a pop out to 3rd. And that will do it for the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Dixon as he gets his first 1-2-3 inning. Still 3-2. Leading off for the O's will be Fred Lynn. Lynn grounded into a fielder's choice last time up. He'll go up against Higuera. And that's a patient 63 base hit for Fred Lynn. It is a single. He trots down to first. Lynn gets a single there off of Higuera. Barely got it against the lefty, but he has it. 3C steal rating, not running. Here is Eddie Murray. Murray walked his last time up. Pitch from Higuera, and that's a tough 96. It's a fly ball to left, out number 1. Here's Ripken. Ripken 0 for 1. Hall of Famer, of course. Lynn on it first. Here's the pitch. And we got an in-play 11. That will be a single for Ripken. It's a soft blooper into short right field. Runner on first advances 2 bases, so Lynn goes to 3rd. Ripken on it first, and the tying run is 90 feet away. As fans here at Memorial Stadium cheering on their O's. The Brewers are 31-25, and the Orioles are 28-29 in our replay. A win here for Baltimore, they get back to 500. The Brewers are overachieving a little bit in the American League East, but still trail the Blue Jays and the Yankees. But remember, in my replay, the top 3 teams in each division make the playoffs. So everybody is still alive. Renicky will bat now. He got a double his last time up. The infield is going to be normal as the Brewers are going to play for 2. Pitch coming. That's a patient 61, and it's a walk. Another base on balls issued by Higuera. And that is the 3rd walk issued by Higuera. And the bases are loaded for Fritzy Connolly. Still 1 out. With a double play rating of 6-6, now the Brewers are going to play the infield in. And they're maybe trying for a double play at the plate and at first. So let's see what happens. Infield in, called by the Brewers. Teddy Higuera in a bit of a big jam. Here's the pitch to Connolly. And that is a patient 80. And that will be a single for Connolly. It's a base hit. That's a hard grounder into right field. The runners will only advance one base, so Lynn will come in to score. The merry-go-round turns once. And we're tied at 3 on a single by Connolly. On an 80, on a lefty against an 80, he still gets that base hit. We are tied at 3. Stadium cheers. Yay! The batter now is Mike Young. Young hit a 2-run homer his last time up. Base is still loaded. They're still going to play the infield in. 3's on the scoreboard. All 3s. 3's a wild. Higuera will pitch to Young. And that is an in-play 75. It will be a ground ball to second base. That is a 6 on the dice. And when the infield is in, the runner on third is out at home. And if the bases are loaded, we roll 1d10. A 1d10 to see if they get Mike Young if the bases are loaded. So we'll roll 1d10, which I usually do, and we'll go ahead and roll the die. Mike Young's double run rating is a 6. That is a 2, and if it's higher than the run rating, batter is out at first. Otherwise, batter's safe. So Cal Ripken is out at home, but Mike Young beats the throw to first. Still got bases loaded, but now 2 outs. And now here comes Dempsey with the bases still loaded. But now the infield will be normal. So calling the infield in was the right play. Teddy Higuera will now pitch to Dempsey. Can he get out of the jam? The pitch is a ballpark 21. That is a wheelhouse for Dempsey. He should get a hit. It's a 49. He does. That's going to be a double for Rick Dempsey. Does it clear the bases? Reineke with a run rating of 6. He comes in. Connolly run rating of 4. He comes in because it's a double. Mike Young with a run rating of 6 all the way from first. He comes in. It's a bases clearing double for Dempsey. Three runs come in to score, and the Orioles take the lead 6-3. 3 RBIs for Dempsey. He gets it done. As Higuera pitched him a meatball, Dempsey didn't turn it into lasagna, but he still made a good fettuccine Alfredo out of it. And he'll go to second. And with 6 runs on the board, that is all for Higuera as they chase out the ace. Next batter up for the Orioles is Lacey. We'll see a new pitcher for the Brew Crew. And they're going to go with Bob Gibson. Not the Bob Gibson, but Bob Gibson. 6-7, 3.90 ERA. He is a long reliever, and he will come in. He can pitch innings 3, 4, and 5. 6-3 Baltimore. Gibson will now pitch to Lacey as they chase away Higuera. Still 2 outs in the top of the third. Gibson's pitch. That's a patient 32, and it's a walk. Lacey trots down to first. The batter now is Dower, as it looks like the Orioles are trying to make up for that loss to the Red Sox a few days ago. Check out that game if you haven't. Dempsey on at second, Lacey at first. Gibson will now pitch to Dower with 2 outs. And that's a tough 29. And against a right-hander, that will be a pop out to second base. And that will end the inning. The Orioles collect 4 runs on 4 hits and a couple of walks. At the end of 3, the Orioles, who were down 3-0, are now leading 6-3 here in this ball game. That was hard to watch for the O's, as Landstrap Baseball says so. Don't forget, we got more exciting baseball action coming your way tomorrow. Inside Pitch 1985, it will be game number 13. We will have the same Milwaukee Brewers, but they will be taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers in the second round of the 85 one and gone. And tomorrow night on Payoff Pitch, what do we got? Well, we got tomorrow night for Payoff Pitch. I have that here somewhere, I thought. There we go. And tomorrow night on Payoff Pitch, which will be June 17th, we will have the Cincinnati Reds taking on the San Francisco Giants as we get back to the National League a little bit there. So the Reds and the Giants tomorrow night on Payoff Pitch. Top of the 4th inning here. Orioles leading the Brewers 6-3. Dixon back on the mound. Rick Manning leads off for Milwaukee. Here is the pitch from Dixon. That's a tough 83. Ground out to second base. First out. Here is Paul Molitor. The Brewers were rated a C in quick results. The Orioles a B. So according to quick results, the Orioles are a better team. But very interesting that the Orioles are 28-29 and the Brewers are 31-25, but still very early. Well, actually now the midway part of the season. Pitch from Dixon. That is a tough 29, and Molitor slaps around. That he belts it into right field. That is a double for Molitor. Molitor gets his second hit of the game. That is a double. He fights off a tough pitch. The next batter is Ernie Riles. Tim Pepper joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Yeah, I'm trying not to scream there, Tim. Trying not to scream. Riles is 0 for 1. Dixon will pitch. Molitor on its second. And we got a tough 99. That is a fly ball to right field. Put away by Lacey. Since it's a tough pitch, Molitor will not go anywhere. That is 1 out. Here is Cecil Cooper. Molitor on its second. Here's the pitch. That's a patient 67, and it's a fly ball to left. And the ball will be caught by Renicky. That is out number 2. Renicky has an arm rating of 6. Molitor, a run rating of 7. Molitor is not going to try to go to third. Why would you? A base hit will score you, so there are 2 outs. On a patient, you can try to go from second to third, but why would you want to? You got a run rating of 7, and Robin Yount is very capable of bringing you in. He is next at bat. There are 2 outs. Dixon will pitch, and we got a tough 94 fly ball left field. Again, caught by Renicky, and that will end the inning. So the leadoff double does nothing. No runs and a hit. The O's are leading the Brew Crew 6-3 going into bottom of inning number 4. Got a question for you guys. Would you want me to stream an inside/payoff pitch game to discuss the games between the two, or would you rather just have me launch a video and you guys just watch it? I mean, if you stream it, you can ask me questions and such, and hey, even you guys might give me some ideas to use for both games. Who leads off? That would be Fred Lynn. Fred Lynn leads off for the Orioles. Lynn is 1 for 2. Pitch from Gibson, and that is a tough 54. And what we got here, ground ball to third. That's out number 1. Here's Eddie Murray. Murray is 0 for 1, flew out and walked. Pitch from Gibson. That's a ballpark 89, but that will be in play. In play 26 is a single for Eddie Murray. He slaps that into center field. Murray will hold it first. First hit of the game for Murray. And now here's Ripken. Murray 2C steal rating, will not run, plus you're up by 3 runs. So you're not going to steal anyway. 1 out. Pitch from Gibson. That is a patient 42, and he walks Ripken. Gibson averaged 4.8 walks per 9, so I understand the walk there. Now runners at first and second for Gary Renicky. Still 1 out. Renicky is 1 for 1, doubled and scored twice. Gibson looking on. Checks and deals. And that is a tough 14. That is a swing and a miss. Strikeout. 2 down. Fritzy Connolly comes up. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. But against a right-hander, he's a much different hitter. Orioles trying to add to the lead. Pitch from Gibson. That is a tough 23, and that is a swing and a miss. Struck him out. And Gibson gets out of it, so no runs. There was a hit and a walk at the end of 4. Still 6-3 O's. Top of inning number 5. Ted Simmons leads off for the Brewers. He is 1 for 2. Dixon with the pitch. That is a ballpark 86 that will be in play. In play 53 is a ground out to first base, out number 1. Play is made by Murray. Here is Ben Ogilvy. Ogilvy is 1 for 2. He's single. Pitch from Dixon. It's a tough 45, and we've got a line drive at right to short, but that will be taken care of by Ripken, out number 2. Bill Schroeder comes up now. 2 outs. Pitch from Dixon, and that was Suadice. Will re-roll. That is a 9. Ballpark again, 12. That is in Schroeder's wheelhouse. And a wheelhouse 00 is a rare play. And I hate rare plays when I get a wheelhouse. I hate it when that 00 shows up on a wheelhouse. I really, really do. Let's check the rare play chart. Red die first, 1-1. That's simple. Right here, batter hits a rocket to roll a D6. So I'll draw the card. That's a 6. Batter hits a rocket to center field. If fielder has an A, B, or C range, credit batter with a single and runners advance 1 base. Well, the ball is hit to center. The Baltimore center fielder is Fred Lynn. His range is a D. So that means that the ball rolls to the wall for a triple. If the batter has a run rating of 7 or higher, it's an inside the park home run. Bill Schroeder has a run rating of 6, so he will not score an inside the park home run. So it just turns out to be a triple. Two-out triple for Schroeder. And we'll see Jim Gantner. Question is, can Gantner get Schroeder in? Dixon with the pitch. That's a tough 34, and he'll get out of it. He pops it out to second base, and that ends the inning. No runs and a hit for the Brewers. Halfway through this ball game, 6-3 Orioles. Let's see. This will be Gibson's last inning, and that'll also be Dixon's last inning as well, because Dixon, his fatigue inning is the 6th. He's given up 3 runs, so he will not be coming out for the 6th inning as I am going by the fatigue rules of payoff pitch. Mike Young will bat against Bob Gibson here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mike Young hit a 2-run homer. He is 1 for 2. Pitch from Gibson in play, 0-3, and that's going to be a leadoff double for Mike Young. He will trot down to second. He smacks that double into left field as it bounces off the wall. So Young has a home run and a double now. And we'll see Dempsey. Dempsey doubled his last time up. You believe a rare play only happens when both the 10s dice and the O dice are both zeros. That is correct. But remember, okay, if a 0-0 occurs on any play, it's a rare play. And that was, I drew the 0-0 on a card. The 0-0 was on a card when I drew the number to see what the wheelhouse was going to be. It was a wheelhouse, and I always draw a card, okay, because it was, first of all, it was a ballpark wheelhouse. So the dice on the board here tell me what kind of play it is in the ballpark. Then I draw a card. The card was a 0-0. That makes it a rare play. Because there is no 0-0 on the hitter card. You are correct, but in that case, that's how that rare play occurred. Gibson will pitch to Dempsey. That is a tough 13, and it's a swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's out number 1. Lee Lacy coming up. How do you mean, Dim? Go ahead. If I'm wrong, tell me, but that's how it works. Because I don't re-roll the dice. I use the cards to determine it. We'll decide. We'll take a look at it. Hold on a moment. We'll take a look at it. Gibson will pitch to Lacy. That is a 7. That's a tough 43. Lacy smacks a single. It's a sharp liner that drops in front of the left fielder. Mike Young coming around from second. He will score. RBI base hit by Lacy. It's 7-3 Orioles. And the Orioles have now matched the amount of runs that they actually scored in that game. 7. Lacey on it first. Here is Rich Dower. Still with one out here in the top of the fifth. Here's the pitch from Gibson. And that's a tough 0-0. Now that is a rare play on the dice. So we go straight to the rare play chart. That's straight rare play. Re-roll the two dice. Thread first, 2-1. And that is it. Batter hits a grounder up the middle. Roll 1d6. I'll draw a card, and I will use the middle number like I like to do. That's a 2. And that is the second base. Second baseman dives for the ball. If the fielder's range is A or B, batter is out at first. Runners advance one base. So it's a range check to second base. That is Gantner. His range is a C. He does not make the play. Ball gets past fielder for a single, and runners advance two bases. So Lacey goes to third, and Dower to first. So that's just a base hit by Dower. The rare plays are kind of meh. I gotta construct. I'll have to be honest with you. Kurt Berglund did a tutorial for season ticket baseball, which is Clay Dresslock's version of pretty much Baseball Mogul, which I have many reservations about Baseball Mogul compared to Out of the Park in action. But he's got season ticket baseball. Season ticket baseball has a whole bunch of rare plays. I actually downloaded the demo, the rules and stuff. It's got a whole bunch of rare plays. I'm thinking I might be able to convert those to payoff pitch. Possibly. The rare plays for inside pitch I'm going to leave alone. But for payoff pitch, they could use a little bit of flavoring. Lynn will bat. Runners at first and third. We have one out, right? We have one out. And the Brewers are going to call the infield. They're going to call the infield back, try to turn two and get out of this inning. Gibson will pitch. That is a tough 80, and it will be a fly ball center field. That will be caught by Manning. It's a tough fly out, which means Lacey stays at third base, and there are two down. Chance now for Eddie Murray. Pitch from Gibson. And that is a tough 20. And it's going to be, he fought it off. It's going to be a double for Murray. Oh, the Orioles are teeing off on the Brewers today. That is a double. Lacey will come in to score easily. Rich Dower, run rating of 6. He will score from first base. Eddie Murray goes to second. And it's 9-3 Orioles, as they are laying the wood on the Brewers. Here's Cal Ripken with 2 outs. Memorial Stadium enjoying this game, but you never know. There could be a comeback, as we all know what happened to the Orioles against the Red Sox. That's going to be it for Gibson. He is fatigued. He is done. And the Brewers are forced to go to the pen a little earlier than they wanted to. And they're going to bring in, they're going to bring in Jamie Kokenauer. 6-8, 4.33 ERA. Kokenauer is a long reliever as well. He'll pitch to Ripken. Still with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ripken is 1 for 3. Here is the pitch. And that is an in-play 45. And it will be a pop out to third base. And that will end the inning. 3 runs in for the Orioles. on 4 hits. At the end of 5, it is 9-3 Baltimore. As today, the Orioles are scoring runs. Before we go to the top of the 6th inning, Tim Pepper wanted to check something, and I will show him real quick. Because on rare plays. So on rare plays in this game, if the dice come up a 0-0, it's a rare play. But the first came in was a play at the ballpark. So I believe whatever the dice roll, let's say it was 22. So let's say it's a 22 against a right-handed batter. And that would be a wheelhouse. What I do is I draw a card for the next die roll without rolling the dice here, and I go by this. The card I drew was a 0-0. Since there is no 0-0 on any batter card for wheelhouse, this 0-0 then becomes a rare play. And then we follow the rare play chart. The only time a 0-0 could be used for a wheelhouse is in case on some cards, not many, but Joe Bryan actually has a 0 rated, okay, in a home run as a home run, all right, on the card. There's only a few batters that have that. It gives them a chance to get a home run when they didn't have one during the year. Then you have to draw another card, and if it's doubles, it's a home run. That's how Joe Bryan does it. So I just thought I would show a little bit why Tim Pepper is saying it only happens on both 0 to 9 dice. But again, Tim Pepper does know the rules of the game very well. I will not debate him. And since I had to redraw cards here, I'll reshuffle the deck here. We are in the top of the 6th inning. It is 9-3 Orioles. Orioles will have a new pitcher. Batting for the Brewers is Manning. I think the Orioles will bring out a lefty. Let's see who they want. Who do we got in the bullpen? Not much. Could bring out Tippy, but I guess it's not a save situation. Let's see. Orioles are going to bring out Sammy Stewart. Bring out a righty instead. 5-7, 3.61 ERA. He did appear in 56 games. So Sammy Stewart will pitch to Manning here to start the top of the 6th. It is 9-3. Can the Brewers come back in this game? Pitch from Stewart. That's an in-play 0-4, and Manning leads off with a double. As it looks like pitching has taken the night off in today's game, Manning will go to second. Leadoff runner on for Paul Molitor. There were 12 runs scored in this game historically and 20 hits. Right now we are at, we are at 12 hits for the Orioles and 8 hits for the Brewers. So we're already at 20 hits, not including the walks. Molitor at the plate, Manning on its second. Here's the pitch from Stewart. That's a defense check, 82. That should be all right. Error check to the pitcher. Sammy Stewart's error rating is a 5. That's not a problem. He will make the play. And it's a pop out number 1. Pop out to the pitcher. Stewart has the catch, out number 1. Here is Riles. Pitch from Stewart. That's another defense check. Now that's an 0-5. That's not going to be good. That's a range check to center field. Fred Lynn is out there. His range is a D, not a chance. That's going to be a hit. It will be a 2-base single for Riles. Manning will score easily. Riles on at first. It's now 9-4. Here come the Brewers. First run given up by Stewart. Cecil Cooper will now come out. Riles on at first. He is not stealing. You're down by 5 runs. Cooper will bat. Cooper is 1 for 3 in this game. Pitch from Stewart. That is a tough 37, and it's a pop out to second. Out number 2. Now, can Robin Yount bring in a run? Yount is Yount's 0 for 2 in this game. He did walk. Riles on it first. Here's the pitch from to Yount. Stewart. That's a tough 50, and it will be a ground ball right back to Stewart. He will have it, and he will throw to first to get the out. And that ends the inning. The Brewers do get 1 run on a couple of hits. It's now 9-4. Jamie Kokenauer will pitch. He'll go up against Gary Renicky here in the bottom of the 6th. Renicky is 1 for 2, doubled and walked. Fans here at Memorial Stadium hoping that the Orioles do not have the collapse they had against the Red Sox. Pitch from Kokenauer. That's a defense, 86. That should be fine. Range check to short. The ball is hit to Ryle. His range is a D, but it needs to be a 1-50 for a hit. That's an 86. Riles throws to first. Out number 1. Fritzy Connolly will come up to bat. Pitch from Kokenauer. That's a ballpark 72, and that's an in play. In play 20, Connolly has his second hit of the game. That's a base hit for Connolly. It will be a single. He hits that one to right. He gets a rare hit off a right-hander. He only batted 159 against right-handed pitching in 85. Didn't get that many starts, but he got the start here for the Orioles. And now Mike Young coming up to hit. Mike Young has doubled and homered in this game. He is 2 for 3. And something tells me to get the markers ready in case this game gets a little bit out of hand. Pitch from Kokenauer. That's a patient 16. It's a base on balls. Brandon Baker says baseball. Welcome to Memorial Stadium, where the Orioles are leading 9-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's Rick Dempsey. Still 1 out. Kokenauer checking in. Here is the pitch. That's a patient as well. Patient 67. And it's a single for Dempsey. Base hit. It's a long single into the gap to center field. Runner on first advances 1 base. Connolly, runner on second, advances 1 base with a choice, but his run rating is a 4. It is more than 3 runs they lead, so Connolly will hold at third. And the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded for Lee Lacy. As unfortunately, the Brewers are just not getting the pitching they needed today. Bases are loaded. The Brewers will play for the 2 to try to get out of the inning. There's still 1 out. Kokenauer checks and deals to Lacy. That's a defense check, 65. That's an error check to third. The ball is hit to Molitor. His error rating is a 2. 1-58. That's a 65. There is no error. So let's see what it is. And it's going to be a ground ball plus advance, which means the only play is going to be to first base. So Connolly will score. Young goes to third. Dempsey goes to second. And it's now 10-4 Baltimore as Lacy grounds out. 10-4 now. The batter is Dower. First run given up by Kokenauer. But now there are 2 outs. Dower looking in. Kokenauer will pitch. And that is a patient 0-7 and another base on balls. Another walk. And the batter now is Fred Lynn. Lynn will bat against Kokenauer with the bases loaded. Already the Orioles leading 10-4 here, as it looks like they're in for a blowout. Still 2 outs. Can Kokenauer get out of the jam? That is a 7. That's an in-play, 25. No, he won't. That's going to be a single for Fred Lynn. And I'm going to have to draw the cards because of Dick Dempsey only has a run rating of 5. We know that Young comes in to score. It's a soft blooper into short right field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second score, so Dempsey comes in to score as well. Dower goes to third. Lynn goes to first. And it is now 12-4 Baltimore. That'll be it for Kokenauer. Out he comes. Milwaukee will have to go to the pen again. And they're going to bring in Pete Ladd. No record, 4.53 ERA. Ladd will come in to pitch. He'll go up against Eddie Murray. And yes, as Brandon Baker says, the Orioles are on fire tonight, leading 12-4 on the Brewers. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. We ain't done yet. Pitch from Ladd. And that is a tough 53. That will end the inning. It's a line drive right to short. Riles makes the catch. Three runs for Baltimore on 1, 2, 3 hits. And 2 walks. At the end of 6, the Orioles are all over the Brew Crew, 12-4. Sorry, I'm not giving you guys a good ball game tonight. I do apologize for how the dice are acting. Top of inning number 7. Sammy Stewart. He will pitch this inning. He'll go up against Ted Simmons for the Brewers. He is 1 for 3. Brewers are pretty much already resigned themselves to their fate in this game. Stewart's pitch. That's a tough 62. It's a ground out to third, out number 1. I do not think we're going to see a comeback like the Red Sox did. But then again, you never know. Here's Ben Oglivie. Oglivie 1 for 3. Stewart will pitch. That's a patient 65. It's a base hit for Oglivie. Slaps a single to center. Second hit of the night for Oglivie and now Bill Schroeder. Stewart will pitch. That's another patient 18. That's a walk. Another base on balls. Stewart did average 4.6 walks per game. How many walks have we had in this game total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've had 10 walks in this game combined. Here's the batter is Jim Gantner. Can the Brewers get some runs in? Runners at first and second with 1 out. Gantner is 1 for 3. Pitch from Stewart. That's a tough 37. It will be a pop out to second base. And that is out in number 2. A chance for Rick Manning. Manning's having a good night tonight. He's 2 for 3. Stewart with the pitch. And that's a defense 34. That could be interesting. Error check to third base. The ball is hit to Connolly. His error rating is a 5. And he will 1 to 31. 34. He just makes the play. And it's a ground out. And he will throw to second to get Schroeder. And the inning ends there. No runs and a hit for the Brewers. And we are at the 7th inning stretch. 12-4 Orioles. I will be right back. Sing, take me out to the ball game. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Stewart is not going to pitch the next inning, so I'm going to take him out now. But Pete Ladd will pitch for the Brewers against Cal Ripken. I know Brandon Baker will be interested in Ripken. Ripken actually having a good night tonight. He is 2 for 4, a single and a double. He lined out, flied out, and walked. So I'll let Brandon Baker know about that. Tomorrow we got more exciting action. Again, we got these same Milwaukee Brewers, but they will be taking on they will be taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers in inside pitch 1 and gone tomorrow morning. That's game number 13, a second round matchup. And tomorrow night we have, I know Brandon Baker will be happy to hear this, we've got the Cincinnati Reds tomorrow night on Payoff Pitch. They are at San Francisco. So I know Brandon Baker will love to see the Reds play as they are on game 4. They are on the board tomorrow night. Ripken will go up against Ladd, 12-4 Baltimore. As I know Brandon Baker will want to watch Reds baseball. Here's the pitch from Ladd. That is a patient 46. It's a double for Cal Ripken. Ripken leads off with a double. Second double of the game for Ripken. He will trot on to second base. And here is Gary Renicky. Renicky is 1 for 3. He has a double. Pitch from Ladd. That is an in-play 07, and Renicky is going to have a double as well. That's a double. Ripken will come in to score easily. Renicky on its second. And the Orioles are showing they can play some ball. As it is now 13-4. Here's Fritzy Connolly. If the Orioles win this game, they get back to 500. Milwaukee is 31-25. Renicky now on at second. Connolly will bat. Connolly actually having a pretty good night. He's 2 for 4. Still nobody out here, bottom of the 7th. Pitch from Ladd. That's a patient 27, and it's another walk. Connolly will trot to first. And now Mike Young will come up to bat. Young is 2 for 3, a double, a home run, and a walk. As the Orioles are getting vengeance for the way they lost to the Red Sox a few nights ago. Still runners at first and second, still nobody out. Pete Ladd trying to trying to stem the bleeding, but Baltimore is hitting hard. That's another patient 58. It's a single for Mike Young. That's a base hit. It's a ball blooped into right field. Renicky will score from second. Connolly will only advance 1 base. He'll hold at second base. Single for Young. He now is a triple short of the cycle. And it is now 14-4 Orioles. There are sometimes you get games like this as the Orioles lead by a touchdown and a field goal. Connolly on at second, Young at first. The batter now is Rick Dempsey. And let's see here. That is the second run issued by Ladd. He will come out, as the Brewers are trying every pitcher they can get, but can't get anybody out. They will now go with Bob Mcclure. He's a lefty. He's our closer. 4-1, 4.31 ERA. Bob Mcclure will try to stop the bleeding. Nobody out here, bottom of the 7th. 14-4 Orioles in an absolute blowout. Dempsey having a good night. He is 2 for 4. Struck out twice, but singled and doubled. Here's the pitch from Mcclure. That's a patient 54, and it's going to be a double for Rick Dempsey. The hits just keep on coming. It's an opposite field shot to right field, and all runners will score. So Connolly comes in to score. Young comes in to score. Dempsey has his second double of the game. It's 16-4 Orioles. The fans here are pretty much left Memorial Stadium, although some are just sitting back and drinking a cold one. Next batter is Lee Lacy. Bob Mcclure gives up a double, but those runs are charged to Ladd. Lacy will bat against Bob Mcclure. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. The Orioles are teeing off on the Brewers. McClure's pitch. That's a tough 19. That will be a strikeout. He gets Lacy, and that's out number 1. Here's Rich Dower. Dower is 1 for 4. He singled and walked. McClure pitches to Dower. That's a tough 39, and we got a ground ball to first. Ground ball to the pitcher. McClure will get it. He will throw to first. Dempsey's run rating is a 5. That is a 3. Dempsey will go to third on that. That's out number 2. And here's Fred Lynn. That's another rule of my ground outs. Dempsey had a run rating good enough to get to third base. So he goes to, now Fred Lynn will bat. Lynn is 2 for 4 and 2 for 5 in this game. He's got 2 singles. Runner on third now with 2 outs. Pitch from Mcclure. And that's a tough 74. It's a ground ball to short. This will end the inning. Throw goes to first, and that does it there. 4 runs for the Orioles on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. The Orioles are cranking out tonight. 16-4 at the end of 7. Top of inning number 8. Orioles need a pitcher. They'll probably go deep in the pen. Let's see who they're going to bring in. You got Paul Molitor leading off for the Brewers. And they're going to put out Tippy Martinez anyway. Here's Tippy Martinez, 3-3, 5.40 ERA. Has a few saves. Tippy Martinez pitching to Paul Molitor here to start the 8th inning, 16-4. Can the Brewers come back? Pitch from Martinez. That's a patient 60, and it's a base hit by Molitor. He gets a single. That's one way to start. Molitor has his 3rd hit of the game. He's 3 for 5. Here's Ernie Riles. Molitor holds it first. The pitch to Riles. And we got a patient again, patient 89. That is a ground ball to second base. Riles' double play rating's an 8. Martinez is 7. That is a 9. The throw is going to go to second to get Molitor. His base running rating is an 8, but it's too low. As the 9 beats the 8, and Riles is at first. That is 1 out on a fielder's choice. Cecil Cooper comes up to bat with 1 out. Martinez looking in, lefty on lefty. And we got an in-play 80. That's a fly ball center field. That will be caught by Lynn. That's out number 2. And there's Robin Yount. 3 managers in 85. Joe Altobelli, Ripken Sr., then Earl Weaver. Yep. The Orioles weren't a bad team. They were not. They were a little above average. I mean, they had 83. They had let's see what the Orioles had were 8. They finished above 500. They were 83 and 78 that year. They were not a bad team. They just were not. They were just in a very tough American League East, though. Here's the pitch to Yount. The pitch is a patient 95. That is a fly ball to left, and the inning will end as Yount flies out. No runs for the Brewers. They do get a hit. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 16-4 Orioles in one of my bigger blowouts I've had playing this game. This is what you call, that's what us Jewish people call a grand schmeiss. Bob Mcclure will pitch to Eddie Murray. Bottom of the 8th. Murray is 2 for 4. Pitch from Mcclure. That's a patient 53, and it's a leadoff double by Eddie Murray. The Orioles are not done yet. Murray checks into the game hitting a double. He'll go to second. And the batter is Cal Ripken. Let me know what day that was. That'd be cool. Ripken is up. He doubled his last time up. And the Orioles looking to get more. Murray on at second. Here's the pitch from Mcclure. That's a tough 45. It's a pop out to third base. That's out number 1. Down goes Ripken. Up comes Renicky. It was June 14th against the Brewers. That was the game. Okay, that was yesterday's game then. Yep, that would have been yesterday. Correct. That would have been yesterday. And just to let you know, according to quick results, for the 14th, Milwaukee won that game 7-5 yesterday in quick results. In 10-minute ticker. Eddie Murray, second base. Renicky, the batter, 1 out. McClure's pitch. That's a tough 0-3. That is a strikeout. Strikes out Renicky, 2 down. And here's Fritzy Connolly. Connolly having a heck of a game. He is 2 for 4. And he scored 3 times. So today is Earl Weaver's first game out of retirement. That would be correct. These are all randomly selected, Brandon. They're all randomly selected. But if this is the game that came out, then that's what it was. Murray on at second. Connolly. Here's the pitch. That's a ballpark 45. That's going to be an in-play. No, that's going to be a wheelhouse for Connolly. Wheelhouse 61 is a single. That is a base hit, and he just got it. Murray with a run rating of 7. He will score with 2 outs. And it is now 17-4. Salvador America joins us here at Memorial Stadium, although a bit late. Yeah, you missed quite a bit. 17-4 Orioles. That's going to be it for Mcclure. He's going to leave. Mike Young, the batter now for the Orioles, as the Brewers are going to go to the pen again. They're going to bring in Danny Darwin. He was a starter, but he does have some relief there. Danny Darwin will come on to pitch. 8-18, 3.80 ERA. The Orioles are getting revenge for what the Red Sox did to them a few nights ago. And they're taking it out on the Brewers. This is being called taken behind the woodshed. Here's the pitch from Darwin. And that is a tough 44. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And that does end the inning. One run on 2 hits for the Orioles. The Orioles have scored a run in every single inning except the first and the fourth. At the end of 8, it is 17-4 Baltimore. As pretty much everyone in Memorial Stadium for Baltimore is pretty much inebriated, I'm pretty sure. Will we see some 9th inning magic? 17-4. Tippy Martinez is the pitcher, and he will go up against Ted Simmons here in the top of the 9th. Remember, 10-minute ticker follows the game. Simmons is 1 for 4. Pitch from Martinez. And that's a tough 66. We got a fly ball to right field. That's out number 1. Ben Ogilvy, the next batter. Ogilvy is 2 for 4. He got 2 singles tonight. Martinez, patient 07. That is a walk. Ogilvy trots down to first. That is the 11th walk in this game combined for both teams. 11 base on balls. Bill Schroeder will bat. He'll go up against Martinez. Why not? He actually has a 293 average against lefties. 1 out. Martinez pitches to Schroeder. And that's a ballpark, 49. That is going to be a wheelhouse. Wheelhouse for Schroeder, 07. Crack. That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep. And that ball is a goner. Home run, Bill Schroeder. Here comes the comeback. Let the comeback begin. 2-run homer by Schroeder. He did have 5 homers against left-handed pitching in 85. And the Brewers are now making their comeback. It is now 17-6. The Orioles have 2 touchdowns and a field goal. The Brewers have a touchdown with a missed extra point. 17-6. Here is Jim Gantner. And that's going to be it for Martinez because he, after giving up that home run, he is fatigued. The Orioles will go to the pen. They will bring out Don Azzi, 10-6, 3.78 ERA. Got 14 saves, but he's just here to close the game out. Now it's 17-6. Football score. Gantner, the batter. May see a pinch hitter for Gantner. Let's see. Gantner is what? Second base. Let's see what we can do here. We will see a pinch hitter for Gantner. And the Brewers are going to send up Ed Romero to bat. Batted .289 against right-handers. He will also take over at second in case this game gets into extra innings. So here is Romero. He's a little better second baseman, too. Ed Romero against Azzi. 1 out here, top of the 9th. What? Did you expect a 1-2-3 inning? Azzi will pitch to Romero. And that's a tough 85. And it's a ground out to short, out number 2. Last chance for the Brewers is Rick Manning. I will check the bench again. Rick Manning is in center field for this game. And I'm going to pull Manning. Paul Householder will take over in center field. But he will not be batting. That will be Mark Bruhard. Mark Bruhard will pinch hit against Azzi. Householder will take over in center in case the Brewers score 11 runs here with 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Azzi. And that is a patient 94. And it's a fly ball to left field. Coming under it is Gary Renicky. Waits for it, puts out his glove, bop, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. Orioles obliterate the Brewers 17-6. The Brewers did get 2 runs on a hit. Final line score coming up, and then, of course, 10-minute ticker. Don't go away. For the Baltimore Orioles, 17 runs, on 21 hits, no errors. For the Milwaukee Brewers, 6 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. Ken Dixon got the win. Teddy Higuera took the loss. And, of course, there is no save. 10-minute ticker coming up. Timeout. It is also not the first time I've had 17 runs scored by a team. If you all remember that Cleveland Indians game against the White Sox in the American League Division Series, where the Indians blew the White Sox away, what was that score? 17-5? Of course, we all know what happened to the White Sox after that, right? They went on to win the World Series. Boy, that 1994 restart seems like so long ago. But we are in the third month of this 85 replay. Would you consider doing a full 3-game series we could watch? Pick the best matchup on the schedule. What do you mean, 3-game series? What, like a best of 3 or something like that? No, I don't like doing it. I like jumping around. I do like jumping around. Let's see, where are we? Here we are. It is the 15th of June. Baltimore 17, Milwaukee 6. Let's see how the rest of the league went today. Toronto at Boston. I know Salvador America wants a good pick here. It's a 9. It's a win for the Red Sox, 5-3. Chicago White Sox at California. That's a 5. A win for the White Sox, 8-2. Oakland at Cleveland, 10. Win for the Indians, 3-0. Detroit at New York Yankees. That's a 3. A win for the Tigers, 9-3. Kansas City at Seattle. That's a 9. A win for the Mariners, 6-3. Minnesota at Texas. That's an 8. A win for the Rangers, 5-2. Cincinnati at Atlanta. Here's the Reds. That's a 7. It's a win for the Reds, 8-2. St. Louis at the Cubs. That's an 11. The Cubs win that game, 4-3. Los Angeles at Houston. Steeler fan would be happy to see what his Astros do. That's a 9, and the Astros do beat the Dodgers. It'll be 4-0. As it's 0-0, but there's that 4, and I use that to break ties. New York Mets at Montreal. Can my Mets get a win? It's a 10. No, they can't. They lose 4-0 to the Expos. Philadelphia at Pittsburgh. That's a 6. A win for the Phillies, 6-5. San Diego at San Francisco. That's an 11. The Padres win that game 14-9. And that is the date of the 15th. We go to the 16th. Doing it this way, these cards are already shuffled for tomorrow. Milwaukee at Baltimore. Do the Brewers get any revenge for today? That's a 6. Yes, they do. 9-4. Toronto at Boston. I know Salvador America would like to see the Red Sox win another one. The Blue Jays need a 2-7. It's a 5. They do get it. They tie. They win that game. It is 10-8 over the Red Sox. Chicago White Sox at California. 11. It's a win for the Angels. 6-0. Oakland at Cleveland had a doubleheader. Cleveland wins the first game 5-2. And Oakland wins the second game 6-3, like most doubleheaders go. As Salvador America says, bull skank. Detroit at the Yankees. That's a win for the Tigers, 9-0. The Yankees have lost a few games lately. Kansas City at Seattle. The Royals win that one 6-3. Minnesota at Texas. It's a win for the Twins, 1-0. Cincinnati and Atlanta. Brandon Baker would love to see a win, and that is a 10. No, that goes to the Braves. They get a rare win, 9-2. The Braves are awful. St. Louis at the Chicago Cubs. That's an 11. The Cubbies win that game 4-3. Los Angeles at Houston. I know Steeler fan will be rooting for his Astros. That is a 12, and they beat the Dodgers again, 9-2. New York Mets at Montreal. Can my Mets get a win today? That's a 3. Yes, we do. 7-5 over the Spos. Philadelphia at Pittsburgh. That's a 2, a win for the Phillies. 1-0 over the helpless Pirates. San Diego at San Francisco. It's a doubleheader. Game 1 is won by the Giants, 8-7. Game 2 is won by the Padres, 9-8. Like most doubleheaders go, there's usually a split. And that is it for today's 10-minute ticker. If your team won today, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. So tomorrow on Payoff Pitch, we will have the Cincinnati Reds taking on the San Francisco Giants. And we have the Brewers meeting up with the Dodgers in Inside Pitch, 85 one and gone, interleague game. So catch me for that in the morning. I want to thank everybody here who joined me here tonight. It was a lot of fun to see the Orioles get some payback for that loss to the Red Sox. So it was actually not too bad. Tim Pepper, Brandon Baker, Bears Den, Salvador America, Landstrat Baseball, Bleacher Bums Gaming, Michael Peterson, SDGR Replays. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and we will see you. Stop getting around, you might catch something. We will see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, healthy, smart, and strong, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Orioles annihilate the Brewers tonight, 17-6. See you guys tomorrow.